What is the kinkiest kink that you have heard?
The kinkiest kink I've heard.
What's good people? I'm OBO, and in case you didn't know, I'm the G in LGBTQ, and you're watching It's Just Not Adding Up. So get in here and act like you got some sense. We're about to create some space. Ashley's in the house, guys.
What's up? What's up?
What's happening?
Nothing much.
I'm about to talk about today.
Let's do that. Let's do that. Let's do that. We don't talk about now. Let's go ahead.
What do you think the keys to a pleasurable sexual encounter look like?
Ooh.
Come on now.
The keys to a pleasurable encounter starts with communication, because you have to learn what each person likes. So that's the first thing.
Yeah.
A willingness to take critique. All right, because a lot of us feel like we know what we're doing and that we are good there, and then when someone tells us that we're not as good as what we think we are, we be a little in our feelings.
I kind of feel like we're never as good as we think we are, and I know everybody thinks that they're like really good at sex. I'm not knocking anybody. I don't want to, but I think because sex is so contingent upon who you're having sex with,
correct,
that what the last guy may have went crazy over, the next guy may not like.
Correct. I had a guy tell me one time, I ain't gonna lie. He was like, he wanted me to, what did he want me to do? Something did. Oh, he wanted me to like do more with like oral, right? Because I'm more of a like, let's get this over and move on type person.
Got you.
And he was like, no, I wanted to like do all these things. And I was like, really? But because I actually gave him and I cared about his pleasure, because he was all into things that I want to do.
Yeah.
I was like, let me put my ego aside and, do what I need to do.
And that changes sex to me too, when you actually care about a person.
Right.
And honestly, I was telling my friend this the other day, like once you, and this is just me personally, once you care about a person and have that version of sex, it makes that hookup stuff even more difficult for me. Like when I was like early on, you just hook up, everything's a hookup, it's okay, sex is fine. But when you actually like fall for a person, you guys have that kind of encounter sex, and you're connected emotionally, spiritually, all your bodies and all that kind of stuff, and then having to go back to casual sex.
And that's where I am now. Like, like for the last couple people I've like dated intentionally, like we had great sex. We kind of like vibed, right? To go from that to just, what I'm saying, trying to figure it out. I'm like, I don't want to do that no more. And the older I get, the more I dislike hookups.
Yeah.
Because I need something.
Yeah.
I
get it.
I need connection for me to want to keep you. It has to have something there other than your whatever, your parts. I need connection, and have to kind of like you.
Do you have anything that you withhold casually? Like, I'm not willing to do this in a hookup setting, or is it still like whatever?
Yes and no.
Okay.
So the basics I'll do.
What are the basics? The basics.
Like oral, whatever stuff. I have to like really, really, really be into you, like to kiss you and be more intimate, like that part, and for like me to like kind of like get comfortable and kind of let my guard down and be this feminine type of person. That's more so as you to know me in the beginning. Okay, let's go home, right? I'm more dominating.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah. Back in my hookup days, I feel like the same thing for me. Kissing was a big deal. Yeah. And honestly, for me, staying the night, it could be 4 a.m. I have to go. Yeah, I'm sorry. It's not giving.
And then people say that they're confused. Like, why would you want to kiss somebody? Because sex should be more intimate than kissing.
Yeah,
no,
it's just not. And I get that it sounds kind of backwards when you think about it, but still, no. It's just.
I can you, but I'm not gonna kiss you. All right, that sounds backwards.
That does. So the first thing you said was. I'm probably paraphrasing, but something along the lines of like having a conversation before sex, and that's what makes it pleasurable, right? What do you think makes people not want to have that conversation? For me, I think it's shame. I think a lot of people just feel uncomfortable saying the totality of what they want sexually. Yeah. So you say what you think the other person wants to hear. Right. You know what I mean?
And then we haven't been taught to have those conversations, how to verbalize what it is, especially for women. Like we're not really taught. We are taught that if we're heterosexual, we're taught that our bodies are for the man and to figure out how to please him. We're not really taught what we need and how to verbalize that. So a lot of times we might not even know how to say it. Because like if somebody tells me, all right, Ashley, I don't like having sex with you, or it's okay, right? But then you don't tell me what I need to do to get better. Then it's like finding Waldo. Where I'm supposed to go? I had no direction.
Yeah.
So you need direction for it to, so I can at least have a starting point of what I need to do for it to get better.
And where do you think that judgment kind of stems from? Right? Like, even for a lot of us, you think about like, well, she wants to do what, or he wants to do what, or he likes this, he likes that, and so you're afraid of them judging you for what you like. But where do you think that sexual judgment even stems from?
Society, especially with Black people. Because white people seem to be real open. And they seem to like have they don't hold bar. They do all the things.
They with
it. And we like, what? You want to do what? Like, we think everything is gay, or we think everything is, I'm not doing that. Why he want to do that? Just try something.
I think because I fell in love. And so I think me being in love, I know that sounds so sweet, didn't it? But like that kind of sex, it's just different.
I mean, I fell in love before. It wasn't, with a boyfriend.
Okay.
I fell in love before. Okay. So sex is different.
And so with sexual health, do we have that conversation way before? Because I know we talk about like, even not even just status, right? But like having a healthy sexual encounter, like triggers, all that kind of stuff. Do you have that?
You should have it before you have sex. Especially you should have the conversation on, when last time you was tested on all the things. Or, what's your status on all the things, just so you will know, right? And if you are not going to have the conversation, because sometimes people don't, at least practice safe sex.
Protect yourself,
Wear condoms. Because people don't, you'd be amazed at how many people that are big ages don't wear condoms.
Oh, I wouldn't be amazed.
Yeah, they don't. Yeah. I'd be like, in Atlanta, you sure you want to do that? Like, I don't think that's something you want to do. They do it all the time. They just don't. They're very trusting, and you can't really be trusting on someone of your health.
Yeah, I feel like sex in general has to be, and again, I know it's not sexy, but the great sex is going to come at the opposite end of a full-fledged conversation.
Right.
Because you don't want to be in there, even in my community, but you don't want to be in there having a sword fight because y'all didn't talk about what y'all was about to do. Or you don't want to be in there like, saying, you tooted and he tooted too. And y'all like, wait, what? All these, you want to make sure that you know what's happening.
Right. And I tell people, women all the time, they're like, I want to do like the, the gooch and, going below the balls on their man, all the other stuff. And I'm like, well, just make sure you let him know. You know what I'm saying?
Because you don't want to be done.
You don't and get punched in the nose like that. That ain't cute. Let him know ahead of time. How do you feel about going below the balls? And they'll let you know.
Yeah.
Don't spring it on anyone.
So that leads me into talking about kinks.
Okay.
Sorry, what is the kinkiest kink that you have heard?
The kinkiest kink I have heard was, I used to have a podcast called Ho and Tell, and people would call in and share their anonymous sex stories.
Okay.
Voices would change.
I bet.
Names would change. So we heard all types of things.
I bet.
And so I heard a kink where two of them. One where this dude, I don't know if this was a kink or just trash. But we'll see.
We'll see.
Dude had a girlfriend, and he had he was getting married. And so his kink was just the thought of being caught by his person. So like he would have the girlfriend at the house with while the wife was there. She was at the wedding. They had sex at the wedding. So stuff like that. Like getting caught was his thing, or the thought of getting caught was his thing. I'm like, that's
he steals.
That's trash.
He steals.
I'm sure.
That person steals.
That's trash. Who doing that?
That person steals.
Who does that? Like what? Like you have someone at your wedding, sir. Your wedding. And then y'all are in the back with the
Not today, Ashley. Not today. What's the next one? What was
all right. Then the next one was the one with the woman. She was dating some guy who liked to play dead, right? I can't think of the name. Is it Munching or something? Anyway, so you play dead, and you so in real life, if it's with a corpse, you jump on them, and their entrails will come out while you're like punching them. And I don't really know what's supposed to happen with the entrails, but that's the thing. But he wanted her to play dead, and he would just kind of beat on her. And that was a whole thing. Okay, it's very interesting.
No kink shaming in this space, so for sure,
do what works for you. As long as you have consent. It's just not my thing, but knock yourself out.
What if somebody's watching this and they want to figure out how to become a little bit more liberated sexually, right? We've all had our versions of things that keep us in shame in all these little spaces. And if you can't do this, can't do that. Like, what advice would you give to somebody?
One, research. So like, for example, if you want to try BDSM, right? A good resource is FatLife. FatLife is like the Facebook for kinky people.
Okay.
Anything you want to know about BDSM is on FatLife. Any topic. They have discussion groups. They have like little Facebook groups. They have events, meetups, munches, which is a meeting lunch type setup where you go and meet people that's in the same kink that you are or interested in being the same kink that you are. It's like a business meeting. No one's there naked. You meet at a coffee shop or lunch and you just talk. So probably FetLife is probably the best way for people to go and try to figure out if this is what they want to do.
I didn't even know that existed.
FetLife.com.
I gotta know. Straight men sex. Is it you know what I'm saying? Like straight men and sex, right? Like what are we you know
yeah. Straight men and sex is very interesting. I'll say this. I always be like, I know that sexuality is not a choice because if it was, I wouldn't be. Okay? I'm gonna say that. They try. They do the best they can in most cases, Because
I hear some of my straight homies, especially some of my frat brothers, talk about sex, and on my mind, like,
oh, what fraternity?
I'm an alpha.
Oh, you look like it. I love me some black and gold. Oh, yeah.
But they don't. It doesn't sound like a really good time. And I'm in my mind, like, are the women enjoying this?
I think most of us in general are not. Because you have to know how women work for it to be a good time, right? I think a lot of men, because they think that we are wired like them, we're not, right? You gotta like warm us up, and then they're like, oh, I don't want to do all that all the time. I gotta, it's part of how this works. Like with men, y'all can just think it, y'all ready to go, right? We don't work that way in most cases. We have to be kind of like, turned on, and all these other things that people don't want to do. Foreplay for women is sex. For a lot of women, people don't want to do that. They want to just do enough so they can put the penis in and go about their business.
Sex isn't about the pleasure of one person ever. Heterosexual sex, gay sex, no matter how you're having sex, it's not about the pleasure of one person.
I think that's why heterosexual sex is dead bottom when it comes to like orgasms. Everybody's before us. Everybody else understands. Let's be honest. Lesbian sex is like, they're like number 1, I think. Gay men is number 2. Then bisexual people number 3. And then we're dead last, right? Dead last. At the very last, right? Everybody else is having orgasms, having a good time, but heterosexual people. That's because I think people, one, they don't know people's bodies.
Yeah.
And they don't particularly care.
Hang in there, straights. Or
not.
Or not. You know what I'm saying? Listen, play a little bit. Things are on the right. So outside of finding their kink or finding, their like sexual prowess, what advice would you give to someone who is just trying to have sex, period? I just want to get out of the shame of actually having sex. I want to release my body in the way in which it's been confined by religion, by, misogyny, by whatever that looks like. What advice would you tell to that person?
To just do it, like Nike, just do it. Use it safely though. Like I know when I was trying to transition from my background to what I am now, I just started just doing it, right? And you just not really kind of caring what other people think.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's the great advice or not.
I thought that's really good advice.
Just, if you want to hold, just hold safely and just do it. And then as you're doing it, you'll kind of learn what's for you, what's not, as you're in the act of doing whatever it is you're doing.
Period. I love that. Just do it.
Just do it. Be like Nike. Just do it safely though. With condoms. I tell women have a whole bag in your car or whatever you purse or whatever with condoms, lube, maybe some extra drawers, some little vaginal wipes. Okay. So if you stay ready, you have to be ready. Get ready.
And if you are a gay man or anybody as well, the same thing applies. Also, there's PrEP, all the things. So just make sure.
So do you use toys?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I've used a toy. I don't know what it's called though, but it's like I've used the toy.
What kind of toy?
I don't know what it's called, but it vibrates and has like a little, like you hold it like this, and the thing comes in this in the it's like a, I don't know how to explain it. Like it.
Is it a masturbator? No.
No, it goes in you. Is it a masturbator? Maybe it goes in you though.
It goes in you.
Right, like you can put it in you, like in your it goes in a hole. Yeah.
Oh, so it's like a
stuff like that, but not. I don't really use too much. You know what I'm saying? I use what God gave me. So.
I just wonder because a lot of men, whether hetero or not, have a thing with toys. I was just wondering.
Like a liking or disliking?
Disliking.
I can see that.
Why is that?
I think a lot of people have a lot of stock in their penises, and so anything else is necessary to find pleasure outside of my penis makes me feel like my penis is not enough, and you know.
Okay. Yeah, that's the thing with y'all. Y'all put a lot of ego down.
Okay. So, in the words of Ashley, communicate before you have sex safely, and just do it like Nike.
Just like Nike.
Keep creating space. Peace.